If an unholy person offers sacrifices to God, will God be pleased? Definitely not pleased. Brother Heber tells a story about the Bible. There was a man who, because of unholiness, offered sacrifices to God, and in the end, he contracted leprosy. That person was a king. His name was King Uzziah. King Uzziah, although he was a noble king, was he a priest? He was not a priest, although he was the king. However, he was not a priest. So, he came into the temple of God to burn incense to God. He wanted to burn the fragrant incense on the golden altar. But, while he was burning the fragrant incense, the priests on duty in the temple, said to the king, King Uzziah, offering sacrifices to God is the work of the priests. You cannot enter the altar, cannot enter inside the temple to burn fragrant incense to God. By doing this, God will not be pleased with you. But that king, because he was the king and held great power, he said, no, I must offer sacrifices to God. And so, he was very angry and offered the sacrifice to God. At this moment, God struck the king, causing the king's head to break out in leprosy. His head was completely white, dirty, with decaying flesh appearing. After being struck by God, he left the temple in shame, because he had leprosy. Therefore, although he was the king, from then on, he dared not face his ministers, nor look at the people. So, his throne could only be handed over to his son, Jotham, to rule, although he was still the king. But he could only yield the throne to the crown prince to rule in his place. This means that unholy people offering sacrifices to God will surely incur God's wrath. Later, we will talk about two other people. These two people, although they were priests, but because of one thing, these two people became unholy because of one thing. So, when they offered incense to God, fire came down from heaven from God and consumed these two people. These two people were the sons of Aaron the high priest. These two people got drunk, and after getting drunk, they followed the way of offering incense to idols, to offer the fragrant incense to God. We know that offering incense to idols is burning incense before idols, burning incense before idols. As for these two people, they also, in this way, offered incense to God. Then God became furious and sent down fire from heaven, consuming these two sons of Aaron. So let's look at this. Unholy people, they also drank wine, and then, in an unholy way, using the kind of incense offered to idols, to offer to God, God was furious and destroyed the two of them. As for some people, they do not hold the office of priest, yet exceed their authority. They might also suffer disaster. Once, in the Bible, the book of Numbers records that there was a man named Korah, although he was a Levite, but they were not priests. Korah, being arrogant, then said, "We are all holy. Why is it only Moses and Aaron who are holy? We are just as holy. We can also burn incense to God. Burning sweet incense to God, we can do it too." So, Moses said to Korah, "Fine, tomorrow, each of you bring your censers for burning sweet incense. Bring the censers." Of course, as for the censers, they were given to them by the priest. There were 250 of them in total. And then, he also said, Aaron and his sons will also bring their censers to burn sweet incense before God, to see whether God is pleased with you, or with Aaron and his sons. So, during the process of offering incense, God became furious, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed up Korah and the 250 men with him. Now, Korah and his followers were unholy. They came before God and offered an unholy sacrifice to God. Therefore, God, in his fierce anger, destroyed them. Now we, as his children, are clearly to be kings and priests, if, in our spirit, we do not yet fully belong to God. The sacrifice offered will surely not be accepted by God. If he still does not believe and does not produce complete faith, it will also surely not be accepted by God. So when we say, our spirit must fully belong to God, it is because there are evil spirits in this world. Only by being completely holy can we offer sacrifices to God. Amen.